In this video, we are going to talk about how you can speak and write simple sentences in present tense. In the last video on present tense, I told you guys that simple present tense is used to talk about things you generally do, things you do on regular basis, or in simple words, your habits. In today's video, I will tell you how you can speak about your habits, how you can tell the other persons the things you do, how are going to write about them. Let's suppose I ask you a question. What do you do after school? Now focus on my question. What do you do after school? It's a present tense. I'm asking you a general question about the activities you do when you get home. It's a general question, like whatever you do when you get home, I'm asking you about those things. So, how are you going to answer? Now, if there is some specific thing that you do every day, like whenever you get home from school, you do that thing, or you have like same routine for every day, how are you going to mention it? Let's suppose you watch television when you go home. Like every day when you go home, you change your clothes, eat lunch, and then what do? You watch TV. So how will you explain? You can say, I go home, I change my clothes, I eat my lunch, and then I watch some TV. Listen to me one more time. I go home, I change my dress, I eat my lunch, and then I watch some TV. Now focus on the sentence structure. You see, we have not used any helping verb in the sentence. Like we have not used is, am, are, has, have, was, or anything like that. We have simply said, I go home, I eat lunch. Okay? Because these are the things you do on your daily basis. Every day you go home, you change your clothes, you eat lunch, and then you watch some TV. Okay? This is like a regular routine. So, when you talk about regular routine, try omitting the helping verbs. Okay, we are not going to use helping verbs. You're going to omit those. We're going to eradicate the helping verbs. Just the subject or the subject pronoun. Whether if you're talking about yourself, obviously you're going to use I. And if you're talking about someone else, the necessary pronouns, I'm sure you know about pronouns. Okay, so after the subject or after the subject pronoun, you are going to use your verb, your main verb and first form of that verb. Like I go home. You see, go is the basic verb we have. This is the basic form of the verb. We are not using any other form. Basic form of the verb. I go home. I eat lunch. Eat, basic form of the verb. I watch TV. Watch is the original verb. Okay, so first point, you're not going to use any helping verb, and second, you are going to use the basic form of the verb. So the next time anyone asks you a question that is based or that is related to something that you do regularly or your routine or your habits, you are going to answer in this way. Okay, start with the pronouns I or me, whatever the question is related to that. Use the pronoun and then use the first form of the verb, and then simply the object. Okay, like I watch television. TV is your object. There's a subject, verb, and then object. Similarly, like I sleep early at night. Okay, I sleep. Sleep is a basic verb. Like this is something that you do every day. You sleep early. So I sleep early at night, and or I wake up early. I go to school every day. I play with my siblings. I read books. I cook food. Okay, so these are all things related to your habits or your routine. Now, if you have to talk about someone else, like if you are going to use the pronouns or the name of someone else, like if I ask you, what does your sister do when she gets home? Okay, so I'm not asking you a question related to this question is related to your sister. So obviously the pronouns will be changed. You're going to use she. So how are you going to use the verbs with she? You see, with the first person pronoun I, we use the first form of the verb in its original form. Okay, like I go home, I watch TV, I eat lunch. We did not change the verb, we did not do anything with the verb. But when you're going to change the pronoun, like when you're going to use he, she, it, you are going to add s or es with your verb. Like if you had to use the same sentences for your sister, she goes, goes, she goes home, she eats her lunch, eat plus s. So with he, she, it, you are going to add s or es with your verb. Same is the case with the names. Like if you're going to use names, Amna goes to school, Amna eats lunch at this time, Amna watches television, you are going to add s or es with he, she, it, or name of any person. We also use simple present tense to talk about universal facts. Now, what are universal facts? Universal facts are the facts that cannot be changed, like the things which are true regardless of the time. The basic example is the sun sets in the west. Okay? You cannot change it. You cannot use past or future tense for this fact. Why? Because it has always been the case and it will remain the same. It is the true. Okay? You cannot change it. It's not like it is happening today and tomorrow it will be changed, or it wasn't like this before but it is happening now. No, the sun has always been setting in the west and it will continue to set in the west. So, it is a universal fact. So, you're going to use the sun sets in the west. I hope the video was helpful. I will keep making videos about the tenses, and you can watch my videos to learn to speak and write simple sentences.